We start our session by singing set of verses which is known as Mangalacharya prayers that invokes auspiciousness. Okay, so we'll sing this prayer, set of prayers. If you don't have Bhagavad Gita, you can ask some devotees here and they can provide you with one. We are seeing some new faces, so let's quickly get the introduction and then we can start. Oh, what's your name?
Rishi.
Rishi. Welcome, Rishi. Pranita, I know. And Akanksha. Okay. Okay. Everyone else is familiar faces. Okay. So we'll start with Mangalacharya prayers. After that we will start. Everybody is able to see the screen? Akanksha? Pranit? Okay, perfect. Let's start. Om Jnanatimidandasya Jnananjanashalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Shri Chaitanya Manavishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Katamayam Tadhapi Swapadantikam Vande Devam Shri Guru Shri Yuta Padakamalam Shri Guru Vaishnava Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sagaragamitam Vitam Tvam Sajivam Sarvaitam Sadhutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padam Sahaganamrita Shri Shadhatam Shri He Krishna Karunasindhu Dinabandhu Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute Tapta Kanchana Gauravani Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vishwabhanu Sute Devi Pranamani Haripriye Vancha Tadpaturubhyascha Kripa Sindhubhya Evacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Srivasadi Gaura Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Om Shri Krishna Krishna Devi Bhagwan Samtram Om Shri Krishna Shri Krishna Samtram Minister Saraswati Vedava Charan Shri Pasha Vishnu Kam Karati Vachanam Kantam Nangati Kakam Vande Shri Guru Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna. Okay, so we are on now chapter number 14. We are starting a new chapter, and for people who have come for the first time might be thinking that for the 14th chapter directly. But the 14th chapter is considered as one of the, as I was telling before, one of the most practical chapters. If you don't know anything about Bhagavad Gita, but you have understood Bhagavad Gita, 14th chapter, then Krishna will say in the first, second verse, you will see, you have understood everything. In fact, this is the constant theme in the entire Bhagavad Gita. You can start from anywhere and you can understand the gist of the entire Bhagavad Gita. It's like that. I don't know what I was saying. When I started my Krishna conscious journey in ISKCON Silicon Valley, there is a course called Bhakti Shastri. Any of you have heard that term, Bhakti Shastri? So Bhakti Shastri usually starts from obviously semester 1 to semester 4, 4 semesters in 2 years. In the first semester, the topics are Ishopanishad, Shri Ishopanishad and Nectar of Instruction. Second semester it is Bhagavad Gita, chapters 1 to 9. And third semester is chapters 10 to 18. So I started with chapter 10 to 18, basically third semester. But at the end, then you can again do third, fourth, then first and second. So I passed. So the point is, it doesn't matter from where you're starting. Obviously, it's always good to start from first, but the Krishna is speaking to Arjuna in such a way that from wherever you start and the commentaries of Srila Prabhupada is added on top of it, it becomes easier. It becomes easier. So, I've spoken about this many times. Bhagavad Gita is divided into 3 parts. First 6 chapters talks about Karma Yoga. So when we say Karma Yoga, it means that people who are in the mode of passion or somehow they want to work. They are like in the mindset of work is worship. Like that kind of mindset is there. So Krishna is saying how you can engage your work towards bhakti. So from karma, how can you come to Karma Yoga? So first 6 chapters talks about that. Middle 6 chapters talks about purely about bhakti. Entire Bhagavad Gita talks about bhakti. But first 6 chapters talks about elevation from karma to Karma Yoga. And the last 6 chapters talk about elevation from jnana, just knowledge, to jnana yoga. That is how the elevation is. Okay. 13th chapter. So now first 6 chapters talks about Karma Yoga. Middle 6 chapters 7 to 12 talks about Bhakti Yoga. Now 13 to 18 talks about all Jnana Yoga. And 13th chapter was the most toughest chapter I will discuss. So people who have come in for the first time, congratulations, you have skipped that chapter. So it's good. Yeah. Arjuna is asking Krishna 6 questions. What is Kshetra? Kshetragya. Kshetra means this body. Okay. Kshetragya means knower of that body. Okay, so soul and super soul. Then he asks Purusha and Prakriti. Purusha is Krishna. There is another Purusha, Jiva, but for our sake we can understand as Krishna. And Prakriti is this material nature. Okay. And third is Jnanam and Gneyam. Jnanam is knowledge. What is knowledge? And Gneyam is object of knowledge. Okay. So now after that we are entering the 14th chapter and we will see. Usually you will see any chapter starts with either, this is the common theme. There can be exception in some chapters, but this is a common theme. Any chapter will start either with importance of hearing this knowledge. Remember this. Importance of hearing this knowledge. You will see again, 9th chapter Krishna will say, Rajaguhyam. He'll say, please understand this knowledge. This knowledge is very, very important. Again in 14th chapter, we'll again see Krishna saying, importance of hearing. Either that is a theme or Arjuna is asking a question. This is a common theme between any chapters we see. Either Arjuna is asking a question or the importance of hearing is given. Why importance of hearing is given? Because without hearing, you will not be able to understand who is Krishna and what are the Shastras saying. You will see that at the end of the this session. Okay. Okay. So now we will start with 14th chapter. It is considered said as 3 modes of material nature. Have you heard about this kapha, vitta, kapha, patta? No. Kapha, pitta and vata. Right? These 3 things. And it is important for us to know where I am. Whether my vata is more I am a vata person, more I am pitta person, or more I am kapha person. Based on that, we can mold our life accordingly. Similarly, the 3 modes of nature, which is sattva. Sattva is mode of goodness. We will see that. Rajas is mode of passion. And tamas is mode of ignorance. If we know in which state we are in, we can learn how to dovetail that state towards Krishna. Let's say we are a person who is very rajasic. Rajasic means, passionate about work, about, bhagna. Continuously that kind of mindset is there. So that person, if he understands this is my characteristic, this is how I am, he'll be able to think, okay, how can I make my bhagna propensity towards Krishna? If he doesn't know what kind of my nature is there, how will he dovetail it? So that's why it is very, very important for us, through this entire series of this chapter that we are discussing, try to analyze yourself. Where am I fitting? I am more of a mode of goodness person, or mode of passion person, or mode of ignorance person. And if I have mode of ignorance also, that's also okay. Mode of ignorance means a person who sleeps a lot, who doesn't have leadership qualities. He will just do things what are being told to him. And that is also good. You can use it in Krishna's service. Right? We need volunteers. Right? So any mode is not bad. It just depends on how you are utilizing that mode. Like Vata person are more into mode of passion and ignorance. Their mind is always unstable, but they are very, very fast in executing the things. Right? So it has its pros and cons, but you can use your pros to your advantage. Right? So similarly, the three modes are also like that. And that's why Krishna is saying that one has to understand these three modes. And finally, Krishna will say how we can transcend the three modes. So the entire chapter is divided into three parts. You can remember this. First, and remember 3 parts, and remember the table of 9. You know table of 9? 9 ones are 9. 9 twos are 9 threes are. Right. So first 9 verses talks about how the jivas are conditioned by the material nature. We will discuss what is condition means. Not conditioning shampoo. This is different kind of conditioning. Okay, we'll see that. So first 9 verses talks about how jivas get conditioned by the 3 modes of nature. Second set, which is 10 to 80. That talks about what are the characteristics of the material nature, or you can say 3 modes. Okay, so first 9 verses talks about how jivas are conditioned by the 3 modes. Second set talks about characteristics of the 3 modes, and last, which is 19th to 27, talks about how to transcend the 3 modes. Okay, so तीनों में 3 modes are common. First 9 verses talks about conditioned by the 3 modes. Second set talks about characteristics of the 3 modes, and last talks about transcending the 3 modes. CCT. Okay. So we will start with first verse. So verses 1 and 2 talks about importance of hearing. Right? You can repeat after me. Shri Bhagavan Uvacha Param Bhuya Pravakshyami Jnananam Jnanamuttamam Yajyatva Munaya Sarve Param Siddhim Ito Gata. Okay. Who wants to do? Maybe Ruchira. Okay, yeah, please. We'll start like that. Go ahead.
The Supreme Personality of Godhead said,
You're able to read from there? Amazing eyesight, yeah. Very good. No, very good.
the best of all knowledge, knowing which all stages have attained the Supreme Personality.
The way she was reading, I was remembering that long back when I used to watch football. From the corner, they were able to hit the goal. Very nice. Okay, we read the purport. Maybe someone else can. Ajinkya, you can read. Okay. So now see, this is another theme. You can see the commonality. Every first verse, mostly, we'll discuss from previous chapters summarization also. In the last verse, it talks about that chapter summarization. So now in this chapter, you'll see Krishna is explaining the previous sections also. So people who, maybe Srila Prabhupada knew that some people will come for the first time today. So he's already summarizing that section. Okay. So, Hare Krishna. Yes, please, Ajinkya read.
From the 7th chapter to the end of the 12th chapter,
This is Bhakti Yoga, right? 7 to 12.
Shri Krishna in detail reveals the absolute truth, the Supreme Personality of God. Now, the Lord Himself is further enlightening Arjuna. If one understands this chapter through the process of philosophical speculation, he will come to an understanding of devotional service. In the 13th chapter, it was clearly explained that by humbly developing knowledge, one may possibly be freed from material entanglement. It has also been explained that it is due to association with the modes of nature that the living entity is entangled in this material world.
This entire chapter is based on this line. it has been explained that it is due to the association. Why it is said in 13, why this chapter started, first of all, let's understand that. Krishna in 13.22 says a verse, it says, Purusha prakriti istohi bhumte prakriti januna karanam guna sangasya sad asad yoni janmasu. It means that Purusha, in this case Jiva, when he enters the Prakriti, he gets entangled by the three modes. We will see that in this section. So when he gets entangled by the three modes, he is experiencing happiness and distress. In fact, these three modes start from the second chapter itself. Krishna keeps talking about guna, but he is not revealing kya hai wo three gunas. Finally, now 14th chapter pe, climax ke time pe, he is revealing kaun hai wo villain. Right? What is those three modes? Right? And this entire chapter will discuss how the living entity gets entangled in these three modes. Yes, sir.
Now, in this chapter, the Supreme Personality explains what those modes of nature are, how they act, how they bind, and how they give liberation.
समझा? तो देखो, what those modes of nature are, how they act, characteristics, how they bind, conditioning, and how they give liberation, how one can get out of this transcendence. समझो तीनों चीज is explained here.
The knowledge explained in this chapter is proclaimed by the Supreme Lord to be superior to the knowledge given so far in other chapters.
You will see every time. Whenever a new chapter starts, this chapter is more important than previous chapters. It will say like that.
By understanding this knowledge, various great sages attained perfection and transferred to the spiritual world. The Lord now explains the same knowledge in a better way. This knowledge is far, far superior to all other processes of knowledge thus far explained. And knowing this, many attain perfection. Thus, it is expected that one who understands this 14th chapter will attain perfection.
Right? So understanding is one thing and realizing it, acting based on that. Then one can get liberation. That's what Krishna is saying. Okay, we'll do second verse also, then we can discuss both the verse together. Okay. Idam jnanam upashritya mama sadharmyam agata sargepi nopachayante pralayena gatanti cha.
By becoming fixed in this knowledge, one can attain to the transcendental nature like my own. Thus established, one is not born at the time of creation or disturbed at the time of dissolution.
Yeah. So this basically now Krishna is saying in these two verses that please understand, Arjuna, this knowledge that I'm going to give you is very, very important. So that's what I said, right? Either Arjuna will ask a question. 13th chapter, he asked a question. And looks like Arjuna didn't have any questions. So Krishna only started speaking in 14th chapter. And here he is saying that, please understand, hear this knowledge, it is very, very important. Right? Teacher comes to the class and he also says, now today what I'm going to teach you kids, please understand very carefully. Right? So similarly, Krishna is also saying, again, he's reminding Arjuna that please hear this knowledge, it is very, very important. Right? In fact, even in Srimad Bhagavatam, this theme you will see. Again and again, Shukadev Goswami will tell Parikshit Maharaj that please hear this knowledge. This is very, very important. There is a verse called Yasya vai shruyamanayam Krishne parama purusha bhakti utpatyate pumsam shokamoha vayapaha. Okay, let's go to that verse. Everyone can look at it. Database SP 177. Okay. We all can do this very sweet verse. Repeat after me. Yasyam. Yasyam means in this case is previous जो भी पहले बोल रहे थे. So they were talking about scriptures, Vedic scriptures. So Yasyam, those Vedic scriptures. Yasyam vai shruyamanayam Krishne parama purushe bhakti utpatyate pumsa shokamoha vayapa. So this verse very sweetly is saying that one who give oral reception to Yasyam, to these Vedic scriptures, And what are the Vedic scriptures talking about? Which Vedic scriptures? In which it is discussion of Krishna is there. Krishna Parama Purusha. Who is Krishna? Is not a ordinary Purusha. He is Parama Purusha. We'll see that today. Bhakti Utpati. Then Bhakti will sprout in his heart. Three things will happen there. Shoka. We are sad about our past. Right? मेरे साथ वो हुआ, मेरे साथ ये किया, वो किया. Right? So Shoka is about the past. Moha is about current, illusion. Right? कि अरे अगर मैंने क्या अभी कोड कमिट नहीं किया तो कल मेरा जॉब जाएगा. Right? That illusion is there. I mean, it can be reality, but sometimes it's an illusion also. And Bhaya. Bhaya is fear of the future. So past, present, future. All three will be taken care. Krishna is saying like that. Right? Shoka of the past, Moha of the present, and Bhaya of the future. Shoka, Moha, Bhaya, Paha. When we hear Srimad Bhagavatam, there is one thing that we get, and Bhagavad Gita, we get wealth of acceptance. What does wealth of acceptance means? When we live in this material world, we develop a sense of controlling mentality. Today's chapter is that, right? Controlled or controller. We develop that. See, when we are going to office also, when we are coding something and let's say the code is not happening, until the night we will say code nahi chal raha hai. Right? We will keep on thinking on it. Then we'll try to, I always say, husband thinks he is the controller, wife thinks she is the controller, but kids are the controllers. They are handling the entire house. Right? Today till 6 o'clock, entire house was messy. Thanks to Kishori. Then I had to literally chastise her. Everything has to go back. And slowly she was listening. But we all are trying to control things. Manage is trying to control us. Then we are also trying to do in our ways controlling. So we are all controlling. And that's the mentality. But when we take shelter of Bhagavatam, we start to accept that actually what to talk about other people. My body also I cannot control. My body also we cannot control. And that wealth of acceptance Krishna gives. Bhagavatam gives, Bhagavad Gita gives that. Neither I am eternal, soul is eternal, but the body, because of which I am working so hard, that might not respond to me sometimes. Right? When you are fractured, you want to lift your arms, but you're not able to. Correct? Once there was in a bus, India, Mumbai bus. So one old lady entered into the bus. And then the entire bus was filled. I mean, seats were already occupied. So the conductor said that, oh, you come sit here. So, you know, in the bus, there is a bonnet or engine. So garam, it becomes it's little hot. So he said, you please come and sit on the bonnet like that. So old lady went and sat on the bonnet. Then after 10 minutes, this one brahmachari was sharing in the class. He was in the same bus. Then after that, he saw a young lady entering the bus. And suddenly some men got up and said, maybe you can sit. So she was feeling a little embarrassed suddenly. And that old lady was seeing everything. And then old lady then said, बैठ जा, आगे जाके bonnet पे बैठना है. You understood? So we think that we will be young forever. But when we read Srimad Bhagavatam, we understand this body will also start dwindling down. And that's why when we take shelter of Krishna, we start to accept that we are not this body, we are the spirit soul, and there is someone else who is the controller. And third and fourth verse that we are going to discuss today is exactly pointing on that. I told this story before. There was one. How many of you know, have heard the name Ramanujacharya? So this story is from Ramanujacharya from South India. So there was one person. So Utsav Murti of Krishna was coming out, and everyone was busy doing kirtan and dancing and all, and taking darshan of Utsav Murti. But there was one man who was busy looking at a female, and female was looking at the male like that. So some of the disciples of Ramanujacharya saw that person, and they got a little upset that Utsav Murti of Krishna is going on, and this guy is busy doing time pass like that, something like that, he said. So then he took that person to Ramanujacharya, and then Ramanujacharya asked, what? I mean, what made you, just completely focused on that girl? Then he said, I've never seen more beautiful person than her, like that. And then Ramanujacharya said, what if I show you someone even more beautiful than this lady? He said, then I will be focused on him or her, whatever. And then Ramanujacharya took that person to Sri Ranganath. And as soon as when that person looked at Ranganath, that huge form of Ranganath, that smiling face of Ranganath, then completely he was so much mesmerized that he immediately said, I want to give my life to Sri Ranganath. So Krishna is saying that when we read Srimad Bhagavatam, when we read Bhagavad Gita, we get attracted to Krishna. With that, once Brajbihari Prabhu was sharing the story, on a new year, one person came to the temple and he was attending entire class. And then after the end of the class, he was telling to Brajbihari Prabhu that Brajbihari was sharing in a class. He said that last year, during the same New Year time, I was in some bar, doing time pass and all, drinking, whatever. But this year, because of Krishna's mercy, I'm in the temple. And same doing dance and everything, but Krishna consciously. So then Brajbihari Prabhu asked him, what made you start becoming so regular in coming to temple? And that is why you have to understand, it is whenever you all are coming for Thursday program, coming to temple, slowly you're depositing something very, very, what do you call it? Luxurious or costly in terms of wealth of acceptance. When we start coming every time, Thursdays, Sundays, Saturdays, we start to accept that Krishna is supreme. Otherwise, we are busy in our material world, having all nonsense, whatever we are doing. But when we are coming to these sessions, Thursday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, whenever, we are again getting reminded that Krishna is Supreme Personality of Godhead. Anyways, coming back to this point. So he said, this boy said that, जब राधा गोपीनाथ, this is talking about चौपाटी, ISKCON चौपाटी. तो राधा गोपीनाथ का जब दीदार होता है, तब आंखों को सुकून मिलता है, या दिल को सुकून मिलता है. So then Brajbihari, so nice. When I take darshan of Krishna, then there is some kind of peace in the heart. So then Brajbihari was sharing in the class. He said, इनको राधा गोपीनाथ को देखकर दीदार होता है और बाहर वालों को कुछ और देख के दीदार होता है. And then he said, he made a poetry. He said, पहले दीदार, फिर यार, फिर प्यार, फिर इकरार, फिर इंतजार, फिर टकरार, फिर दरार, फिर सारी मेहनत बेकार, और लास्ट में देवदास एट बियर बार. So Brajbihari Prabhu was telling in the class that when you take shelter of Krishna, when you start reading Bhagavatam, you start reading Bhagavad Gita, you start attending these sessions, we get the acceptance that we are not this body, we are spirit soul. And Krishna is Supreme Personality of Godhead. Krishna is Supreme Personality of Godhead. Otherwise, we will keep thinking that this entire world is revolving around me. This entire world is revolving. Really, we start thinking like that. That I can control everything. I can control everything. And Krishna makes us believe, especially in the old age, what to talk about controlling entire world, we will not be able to even lift up our phone. It will be so hard because phones are also getting heavier, but hands also becoming weaker and weaker. Old age, once old age kicks in, it's like that. Radhanath Swami Maharaj was giving once class and he said that he was saying youth people had come in the class and he was saying that you have no idea that what it takes for a 70-year-old person to come all the way from Vrindavan to New York and spread Krishna consciousness. Who is he talking about? Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada is the founder Acharya of ISKCON. And then he said, soon you will realize. I don't know if that was a blessing or what. And Radha said, soon you will realize. Right? Once old age kicks in, Once my daughter, not my daughter, my wife Manjari, she was talking to her father, and something was discussed, and he said that youth have a lot of arrogance. He was saying like that. Then Manjari said, "Yeah, I also feel like that. But what can be done? What? How? What?" Said, "Don't worry. As soon as they kick, because he's already 60 plus, he says, as soon as they enter into old age, Krishna will humble them. Krishna will humble them. Really. Right now we think that we can do this. Slowly we realize that it's not possible. It's not possible. So that's why Krishna again is reminding Arjuna that please hear this knowledge. Please hear this knowledge. It is extremely important. If we give our attention to this, we will have no tension. Krishna is saying this. Arjuna. Okay. So we'll go to the next verse now. So first two verses talks about importance of Bhagavad Gita and especially importance of hearing. Importance of hearing. We should always, whenever we are sitting idle, we think we are killing time, but actually time is killing us. Time is killing us. So whenever we are free, we should always take out Bhagavad Gita or Srimad Bhagavatam and just engage ourselves in reading the scripture, because it gives us higher vision. Higher vision. We should never. This term Avyartha Kalatmana, I've been speaking about this from last 1 month, every time in every class, because it is extremely important. We should not waste our time in anything which is not helping in our Krishna conscious journey. We should not waste our time there. Whenever we are seeing we're idle, we should immediately read something. Avyartha Kalatmana. We should never waste our time. We should never waste our time. Okay. Now we'll go to the next verse. When I'm going to recite and you're going to recite, please focus on the verse. I'm going to ask a question. Okay? Mama yonir mahad brahma tasmin garbham dadamyaham sambhava sarva bhutanam tato bhavati bharata. So here some words are there. You should tell me what does it mean. Okay? Garbha. What does it mean? Womb. So who are the speakers of Bhagavad Gita? Who are the 4 speakers? कौन बोला है Bhagavad Gita? Sanjay, Shri Krishna Bhagavan and Bhishma. Close. Bhishma spoke Bhishmaspati in Bhagavatam. कौन बोला? Dhritarashtra. Right? 4 speakers. So of whom Garbha Krishna is talking here? Who is talking here? Krishna. Right? Krishna is talking because Arjuna is not mentioned, and neither Bhagavan, so previous whoever was speaking is continuing from there. Correct? So now the word Garbha is there. Whose Garbha? ये 4 तो नहीं हो सकते. So whose Garbha Krishna is talking about? What do you think? It's Kaunvarya Parupati without options. You'll get Gulab Jamun. I don't know what is Prashadam, but whose Garbha is Krishna talking about? What do you think? You can speculate. That's fine. Vishnu. Okay.
Like in the
material nature.
Correct. Very nice. Material nature. Right? Vishnu is Purusha. Purusha is enjoyer. Prakriti is the female counterpart. So, here Garbha means Prakriti. Okay. Now, we understand that Garbha is Prakriti. But then who is the impregnating that Prakriti? Okay. We'll read again. We'll read more. Okay, let's read again. Okay. Mama. Mama is who? Not Mama. Where is Mama? वो Mama नहीं है. फिर वो के ऊपर एक लाइन होता. Mama. Mama is me. So who is speaking? Krishna. So Krishna is speaking this. Okay, I can show the translation, but try to understand through the Sanskrit itself. Mama Yoni. Yoni is what? Species. Very nice. Species, right? Mama Yoni Mahad Brahma. Mahad Brahma we will see. Okay. Already Akhila is thinking Jiva एक reason है और ये नया आ रहा है. I'll explain. In 8th chapter it was there. So that's why she was attending that session. Mama Yoni Mahad Brahma Tasmin Garbham. In the womb of material nature. The Dhamyaham. Right? I am impregnating. Who? Krishna. Right? Sambhava. Sambhava means Sambhava. Sambhava means
Possible.
possible, right? ये संभव है या असंभव है, संभव है, right? So संभव. Because of that, what is sambhava? Sarva bhutana. They are coming into existence. All the living entities are coming into existence. Tato bhavati bharata. That's how things are happening. You understood the meaning? Third and fourth are connected. So we'll just read third and purport. Then we'll read the fourth one. Then we'll discuss the last section. Okay. Now second half is very technical. But this is important. Why? Because we have to understand what is material nature, what is Krishna's position, and what is Jiva's position. So the love triangle, Prakriti, Krishna and Jiva, we will understand much more in detail in the next, these two sections. It's technical. I'm going to discuss from 3rd canto 26th chapter, Devavati Kapila Samvad. There is Srimad Bhagavatam, there is a discussion between Kapila and Devavati. In 3rd canto 26th chapter, I'm going to discuss from there. In Bhagavad Gita, there are only capsules. That capsules are expanded in Srimad Bhagavatam. So you will see small sutras or small sections, but is expanded in Srimad Bhagavatam. So whatever is explained here in 2 verses, Krishna expands that in entire chapter. So we'll discuss that from that chapter in a succinct form. Okay, and you can go back home and try to read 3rd canto 26th chapter if you have time. Avyartha Kalatra. Okay, who wants to read? Who is reading? Okay, yeah. Krishna, you can read, then she can read.
The total material substance is called Brahman.
So, now Brahman, there are 3. Brahman means existence. Brahman also means eternity. Okay. Brahman comes from the root word Bra. Bra means great. Great. Also it means existence or eternal. So Brahman is usually used for the term the spiritual light of Krishna. Spiritual light of Krishna, which is also known as Brahma Jyoti. But it is also, in the 8th chapter we'll see, it is also used for Jiva. Why? Because Jiva is also eternal. So it is also used for Jiva, Brahman. And it is also used for Prakriti. Because Prakriti also eternal. Prakriti is also eternal. There are 5 topics which are discussed in Bhagavad Gita. This entire Bhagavad Gita has these 5 topics only. Prakriti, Purusha, you have to remember, okay? Prakriti, Purusha, or Prakriti, Ishvara, let's flip like that, so to avoid confusion. Prakriti, Ishvara, Jiva, Kala, and Karma. Okay? In that, Kala and Karma are not eternal. We'll see how. They are not eternal. They goes and come back. Jiva is eternal. We are eternal. Ishvara is eternal. And Prakriti is eternal. Okay? So these 3 things are eternal. Kala and Karma is not eternal. Why Karma is not eternal? Because once Jiva liberates himself or gets out of this material world, his karma is stopped. And there are certain times at the end of the life of Brahma where Kala is also not active because everything is stopped. And in the life of Brahma, there is 100 years and almost 3 trillion years. Anyways, we'll not go there. More than 3 trillion years. There, Kala is not active because everything is in the sleeping mode. Like that. Anyways, we'll go ahead. So, okay, let's see the purport, then we'll discuss more. Everybody is understanding this. Now, next 20 minutes, keep focused because now things are going to be technical. Up tak, till all the sessions I've been discussing very, some simple terms. I thought up to karna hi padega. I thought, okay, today is the day. So we are going to discuss very technical terms today. Okay, so have focus. Okay, so Mataji, you can read.
This is an explanation of the world. Everything.
Oh, did we read the translation? Yeah, we read the translation. This is the explanation of the world, material nature. And we'll discuss, we'll see how that material nature comes into existence. How all these things are getting created. From the time when Brahmaji is born, from that time to the entire cycle of Brahma's life. Then again Brahmaji leaves the world, then again new Brahmaji comes, then again the cycle starts. So we are going to discuss the entire starting of the Brahmaji. What happens? Okay.
Everything that takes place is due to combination of Kshetra and Kshetra Yana. the body and the spirit soul. This combination of material nature and the living entity is made possible by the Supreme God Himself.
Lot of times people think that Prakriti is everything. You know this concept? It is called, okay, let's come. It will come in this verse. Okay, go ahead.
This Mahat Tattva,
So remember this term, okay? Prakriti, okay? You can repeat. Prakriti. Second, Mahat Tattva. Okay, these two terms remember nicely. This will come in our entire technical discussion. Okay? Prakriti and Mahat Tattva. Okay, go ahead.
the Mahat Tattva is the total cause of total cosmic manifestation and that total substance of the material cause, in which there are three modes of nature, is sometimes called Brahman.
ठीक है, तो ये भी ब्रह्मन है.
The Supreme Personality impregnates that total substance, and thus innumerable universe become possible. This total material substance, the Mahat Tattva, is described as Brahman in the Vedic literature. Tasmad itad Brahma nama rupam annam kar
Cha jayate.
The Supreme Person impregnates that Brahman with the seeds of the living entities. The
Good. So the 24 elements, we will discuss this also. Last time we went through very rushly. Now today we'll discuss the 24 elements. This entire material world is actually made of these 24 elements. We'll discuss how. Okay.
The 24 elements beginning from earth, water, fire and air are all material energy, and they constitute what is called Mahat Brahma or the great Brahman, the material nature. As explained in 7th chapter, beyond this there is another superior nature, the living entity. Into material nature, the superior nature is mixed by the will of Supreme Personality of Godhead, and thereafter all living entities are born of this material nature.
So what is explained here? The Supreme Bhagavan impregnates the Prakriti with the jivas, with the living entities. Right? So into the material nature, the superior nature is mixed with the will of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Who? The living entity. Okay, so sorry, I'm putting my finger, you will not understand what I'm saying. The living entity. Okay, we will see what it is. And thereafter, you read this section?
Till
Okay.
nature.
Nature. Okay. Now this point is very, very important. What we are going to read now, and we will discuss that. Okay. This is called Tandula Vrikshika Nyay. Nyay means logic. Tandula means rice, and Vrikshika means scorpion. This is a term in one of the logics. Okay. We'll discuss this what it means. Go ahead. And this is important, very important. We'll explain why.
The scorpion lays its eggs in piles of rice, and sometimes it is said that the scorpion is born out of rice.
So understood what he's saying? Sometimes scorpions are coming from the rice. Have you seen? I mean, luckily you have not seen. But in India, when sometimes what happens is the scorpions are laying eggs within the rice, and then from there scorpions are coming out of the rice. So can we say that rice gave birth to the scorpions? No, correct? We cannot say that. Why? Because scorpion is actually laying those eggs in the rice, and from there the new scorpions are. Sometimes people think that Prakriti is everything. We are made of chemicals, correct? Prakriti is everything. So that conception is wrong. Why? Because someone is injecting the Prakriti with the jivas. And who is that? Vishnu. Right? So that is very, very important to understand that Prakriti is not everything. There is a German philosopher, it's called Nietzsche. You can Google. So he had written once a statement called God is dead. Like that. Signed Nietzsche. And when he left the world, then someone wrote on his tomb, Nietzsche is dead, signed God. The point is, people have this understanding that Prakriti is everything. We are made of chemicals, only chemicals. But then where is feeling? And what is the difference between dead body and living body? Correct? That means that we are something more than just chemicals. Right? In fact, we cannot even say chemicals also coming from somewhere. We'll see that. Okay, let me not break the climax now. Go ahead.
But the rice is not the cause of scorpion. Actually, the eggs were laid by mother. Similarly, material nature is not the cause of the birth of the living entities. The seed is given by the Supreme Personality of Godhead, and they only seem to come out of products of material nature. Thus, every living entity, according to his past activities, has a different body created by this material nature, so that the entity can enjoy or suffer according to his past deeds. The Lord is the cause of all the manifestations of living entities in this material world.
So what happens is, after entire one's life of a human being or for a living entity, when he takes birth again the next life, maybe as a cat, dog, or human life, or maybe higher beings, it all depends on what karma he has accumulated in the previous lives. And based on that, the three modes of nature will act upon that person. A person who is completely in mode of ignorance in his entire life, in next life, mode of ignorance will act upon it so that he can desire what he wanted. What he wanted to desire? Just lazy, something like that. So next life will become tree. We'll just stand there only. Lazy. We'll never be able to move. If he's into mode of passion mode, the next life he will get that kind of body. Because of how? Because of three modes of nature. And that's why it is important, Krishna is saying, to understand this three modes. Okay. Now I'll go to the next verse. After that, we'll start our discussion. You can repeat after me. So again, yoni is coming, right? Sarva yonishu kaunteya.
Sarva yonishu kaunteya.
Murtaya sambhavantiya.
Murtaya sambhavantiya.
Tasam brahma mahadyoni.
Tasam brahma mahadyoni.
Aham bija pradapita.
Aham bija pradapita.
See the last time what it is saying? Aham. Who is saying that?
Krishna.
Krishna. Aham means?
Me.
Right? I. Bija. Bija is?
Seed.
Aam ka beej. Right? So beej. Seed. Pradapita. I am the seed giving father. Pita means father. Right? And bija is seed. So Krishna is saying, I am the seed giving father. So this entire material nature is getting agitated or acting is because I am giving that initial ingredients. Right? I'll give you an example. Let's read the translation. Then we'll go to the PPT. Create a small PPT. Who wants to read? Maybe Ruchi. Okay, Ruchi, you can read. Ruchi can read.
It should be understood that all species of life, O son of Kuntī, are made possible by birth in this material nature, and that I am the seed-giving father.
I am the seed giving father. This point is because people are missing out this part. They are thinking Prakriti is everything. That's it. But Krishna is saying no, Prakriti is actually an unmanifested state. It's like dead matter. Till the time Karano Dakshai Vishnu. Karano Dakshai Vishnu. We have discussed, right? There are three super souls. Karano Dakshai Vishnu, Garbho Dakshai Vishnu, and Kshiro Dakshai Vishnu. Karano Dakshai Vishnu is the super soul of all the universes. Garbho Dakshai Vishnu is the super soul of one universe. And Kshiro Dakshai Vishnu is a super soul in every living entity. So someone, when you hear the word Paramatma within the heart, it's actually Kshiro Dakshai Vishnu. And Karano Dakshai Vishnu is the one who impregnates the Prakriti via Shambhu. Because who is Prakriti? Mother Durga. And that gets impregnated via Shambhu. But who is the superintendent? Who is the order giver? Karano Dakshai Vishnu. Under Krishna. Anyways, we'll not go there, but we'll just understand how the material nature is created now. Okay. And this concept is important. Why? Because to understand that Krishna is the seed giving father. Krishna is the seed giving father. Krishna is again saying this thing that I am the one because of which the entire existence is coming to picture. Otherwise, all this is in a unmanifested state or dead matter. I am the one which is giving life to Prakriti. Escape. So you see Prakriti. So Prakriti, original material nature. You can think of it a lady. And Purusha impregnates the Prakriti, and then Prakriti becomes Mahatattva. Now Mahatattva, you remember I told you Mahatattva. Now Mahatattva is when injected by living entities by Kalam. That's when time starts. When first your Brahma starts, that's when the time is restarting. Time is starting again. All the living entities from the body of Mahavishnu, they are coming back into the material nature. Of whatever desires they had, they will have all the different kinds of bodies. And the three modes of nature also is injected by the Purusha. So you see the initial ingredients are given by Krishna. And everything else is then later on done by Brahma. That's why we say the primary creation is done by Krishna and the secondary creation is done by Brahma. There is a book called Harinam Amrita Vyakarana. I'm learning Sanskrit a little bit right now. So in that there are 2 sutras. There are 1200 sutras right now in that. There are more than that, but in Madhyama there is 1200 sutras. One sutra says Adesho Virinchi. Remember, Adesho Virinchi. Adesho means replacement. Virinchi means Brahma. So Brahma, what he does is he just replaces things, transformations. And then next sutra is Agamo Vishnu. Agamo Vishnu is one who inserts. समझा मैं क्यों बोला? So the primary creation, inserting part is done by Vishnu or Krishna, but the replacement and transformations is done by Brahmaji. So secondary creation is done by Brahmaji. And that is very, very important to understand that Brahmaji or the Prakriti is not the everything. It's actually Krishna. That is the missing link, that people are just focused on Prakriti, but Krishna is the seed-giving Father. That concept one has to understand. And then again at the end of the life of Brahma, again all the jivas go back to Lord Vishnu, Karnadaksha Vishnu, and they are in a sleeping state. Some of them might be liberated. Some of them who are still going through that cycle, they will be again merged. And again when the Brahmaji's day starts, life starts, new Brahmaji is born, then again this cycle starts. This is eternity like that. And the person who understands his knowledge and is acting upon it, he gets liberated out of this material world. Okay. So we are where right now? At Mahatattva. सबको समझ में आ रहा है या बाउंसर जा रहा है? क्या प्रभु जी, क्या लेक्चर में आ गया मैं. मुझे बोला था कि अच्छे लेक्चर्स होते हैं, ये कुछ और ही निकल रहा है. Able to understand what we are discussing?
Yes.
ये yes भी बहुत एकदम हिला डुल्ला है. Anyways, okay. So now now the ingredients are already done. Initially, it's like you have made atta, but initial ingredients is by Vishnu, which is flour and water. And you say atta मैंने बनाया, right? From an atta now more transformations will happen. कोई बाटी बनाएगा, last week बाटी था, कोई रोटी बनाएगा, someone will make paratha. So first transformation from water and atta is, from water and flour is atta. The next transformation from atta after adding fire is bati or paratha or roti. You understood how transformations are happening. Similarly, the initial ingredients is by Lord Vishnu. And then now there will be transformations happening based on the initial ingredients which are given by Lord Vishnu. But to understand, the initial ingredients is Lord Vishnu or Krishna. That we should not forget. Everything else is only transformations by Brahmaji. Understood? This concept is very important. Okay, so Mahatattva. From Mahatattva, when all the ingredients are now present, the first element that comes out is Ahamkar. Ahamkar. Okay, Ahamkar means ego. I am not this body, I am this body. That kind of sense starts to come once the jiva comes into this material world. We'll see that. And then Ahamkar, when it starts, when you also discuss one more thing, 24 elements, right? We'll discuss how the 24 elements of it. Okay, some of the things you can just take at a face value. In the next slides you will understand. Ahankar mixes with 3 things. Mode of goodness, which is known as Sattvika, or it is also known as Vaikarika. And Ahankar mixed with Rajasa, Ahankar mixed with Tamasa. And then again new transformations are happening. Like atta under fire, either it can make bati, or it can, somehow I'm giving this example only, or roti or paratha. Right? Depends on different act. Correct? I'm still hallucinated by the previous week's prasadam. I think so. So when it is under Ahankar is mixed with goodness, then what happens is 2 things happen. Presiding deities come into existence. We'll see there are 14 presiding deities. For eyes, there is one presiding deity, which is Surya. For speech, I lost my voice, right? I was remembering Agni Dev. So for speech, it is Agni Dev. Like that, there are 14. And then Antakarana. Second is Antakarana. Antakarana is, you can remember 4 things. Mind, intelligence. So I just spoke of 24 elements, right? Out of the 24 elements, 4 elements is antakarana. Mind, intelligence, ego, and consciousness. Mind, intelligence, ego, and consciousness. Consciousness is what? Chitta, jiva, soul. Okay. Some say it's kala, but depends. Someone, how can we we can bifurcate animals as herbivorous or carnivorous, or as two-legged and four-legged. अलग तरह से हो सकता है. So सांख्य में भी some people say 24th element is actually kala. Some people say no, 25th element is kala, 24th is jiva, 26th is super soul, and 27, 28, 29th is the three modes. Depends. But mind, intelligence, and third was ego, and fourth is consciousness. So 4. When mixes with rajasa, then 2 sets happen: karmendriyas and jnanendriyas. We'll discuss both of them in detail. Okay. So karmendriyas are 5, jnanendriyas are another 5. So कितने हो गए? 10 plus 4, 14. Karmendriyas are working senses, and jnanendriyas, karma is working senses. Indriya means senses. Jnanendriyas क्या होएगा फिर? Knowledge acquiring senses. Very good. So everyone is there. Okay. Then tanmatras. Tanmatras are subtle elements, and bhutas are gross elements. Tanmatras are also 5. Bhutas are also 5. ठीक है. तो कितने हो गए? Hari bol. Now we'll see what is that 24. Okay. So jnanendriyas are 25, karmendriyas 5, tanmatras 5, bhutas 5. 5 into 4, 20, plus 4, antakarnas 24. ठीक है. These are all happening transformations, replacements by Brahmaji. ठीक है. Bati, roti, and paratha. Okay. We'll go ahead. Please come next time. Believe me, these sessions are not like this. Only today I'm doing it. So, yeah. Okay. We'll go this one. So, antakarana are 4. Mind, intelligence, ego, and chitta. And their presiding deities. Okay. Chandrama is for mind. Brahmaji is for intelligence. Rudra, he is the superintendent or presiding deity for ego. And Kshetragya, you know, 13th chapter it is the Kshetragya, knower, chitta. Okay, is the presiding deity of jiva. Okay. This is just FIL for your information. Okay, we'll go ahead. Karmendriyas, these are important. Speech, hands, legs, evacuation, reproduction. These 5 are the working senses. We're talking about 20 remaining items. Okay. So karmendriyas, this entire thing, if you see, you will understand this body is made of all these items. Speech, hands, legs, evacuation, reproduction, 3 modes of nature, mind, intelligence, ego, everything that we are this body, and chitta. Entire material nature is made by that. But who is the seed-giving father? Krishna. That is the insertion. Everything else is transformation. All the living entities, that 8.6 million, that are the different combinations are there of sattva, rajas, and tamas, these are all done by Brahmaji. But the initial seed giver is Krishna. That concept we have to understand. That has to be drilled in our consciousness. Right? Drilling possible nahi hai. We have heard in 2nd chapter. It cannot be fired or burned by fire or drilled by a driller, but soul. But anyways, you have to understand this concept that Krishna is the seed giving father. Everything else is just transformation. Okay. So speech, hands, legs, evacuation, reproduction. And the corresponding is Agni, Indra, Vishnu, Mitra, and Prajapati. Right? Okay. Then Jnanendriyas. Jnanendriyas are what? Through which you acquire knowledge, through which you are gaining knowledge. तो वो क्या है? Skin. If someone touches you, you will come to know. You will learn something. Correct? You will learn something. So skin, eyes. Through eyes you are gaining knowledge again. Right? Tongue. You're tasting something. I don't know. Today you will taste something. Within 10 minutes. Nose. You are smelling something. Right? And ears. Right? These are 5 knowledge acquiring senses. And their presiding deities. तो कितने presiding deities हो गए अभी? कितने हो गए?
10.
अरे कैसे?
14.
हो गए? 14 हो गए, right? समझा? 14 presiding deities. And Jnanendriya. So Sattvika is done. Rajasika, when Ahankar mixes with Rajasika, that is also done. Now what is remaining? Tamas. Right? Yeah. So Tanmatra, subtle elements and gross elements. Captain Planet, gross elements. Ether, air, fire, water, and earth. Captain Planet. So where that concept came? From Bhagavata. But they will never quote us. Right? So ether, air, fire, water and earth. But those gross elements are then backed up by subtle elements, which is tanmatras. Ether, say, Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita, I am sound in ether. वो कहाँ से आया that statement? Shabda khe paurusham risho. Krishna says in 10th chapter. That comes from this section. That Krishna see in sound, you see in ether, you can just hear the sound in ether. In air, you will hear the sound air में, plus you can little bit feel it जब air touches us, right? वो हवा का झोंका, that concept. So that is sound and touch. In fire, we can see the form also. So there's subtle. You're seeing, right? Sound, touch, and you can see the form also. In water, you can hear the sound, you can touch it, you can see the form, and you can taste it. Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita, I am the taste of water. From where that concepts are coming from? Devahuti, Kapila, Samvad. And finally the earth. In earth, you can smell also. होता ना बारिश की बूंदे जब पृथ्वी पड़ती है तो we say that. So you can smell also. So all the 5 elements have their corresponding subtle elements. And all these things together forms the entire material nature. But who is the initial ingredients giver? Krishna. That we have to understand. And unfortunately, we have forgotten that only. What we are seeing is this entire material world. And we are so attracted by that. But we don't know who is the seed-giving Father. And all the transformations that you are seeing is by this. This body also, that you see, what a beautiful body or whatever it is, that is just a combination of these 24 elements and material nature. So some people like in plants, mode of ignorance is very high. In animals, mode of passion is very high. In human beings, ideally, mode of goodness has to be very high. But if being a human being, we are behaving like an animal, then Krishna will say, Tathastu. Next slide, you take that because you are wasting the human form of life. That's why the first 4 verses, Krishna is making a platform for us where he is saying that understand that this entire material nature, you can get very allured by it, this entire material world, but I am the seed-giving Father. The seed-giving Father. How many of you understood today's session? Itne kya? Understood, no? I know it was a little heavy today, but when you read 3rd canto 26th chapter, if you have time, Srimad Bhagavatam 3rd canto 26, things will get maybe either you will get more complicated or connect the dots. But the point, if you can take something away, you can take this, that the Devatas, they are just transforming things or they are just controlling the things. But who is making those things? The initial ingredient giver is Vishnu, under the superintendence of Krishna. Kanadaksha Vishnu is a technical term, but everything, expansion is of Krishna. That point we have to understand. Okay. Once there was a king, and we'll end with that after this. So he had 4 wives. I'm not in any way promoting polygamy or something, but he had 4 wives. So the first wife, this is a very common story, which makes us understand that what is our position. So this king, he had lot of attraction for the first wife. You have to tell who are these 4 wives. It's an analogy. Okay. So this king had a lot of attraction for the first wife. For the second wife, he used to show off his second wife. He married wife. Somehow like that. Okay. So this is his second wife. The third wife, the king used to have adan pradan, means he used to help the wife and wife used to help him. So it was like a mutual helping each other. And the fourth wife, the king completely neglected. The fourth wife, king completely neglected. So when the king was about to leave the world, he asked the first wife, will you come with me? So the first wife said, as soon as you leave this world, I will leave you. The first wife said, as soon as you leave this world, I will leave you.
Body.
Correct. Body. So one is very, very attracted to the body, Mary body, Mary body. We are doing all the things, but we are not feeding Jiva, the soul. So first wife said that I will leave you as soon as you leave the world. The second wife said, as soon as you leave this world, I will marry someone else.
Money.
Wealth, money. You want to show off to others. ये बंगला मेरा है. You know? So you want to show it. But then as soon as we leave the world, ये बंगला किसी और को होगा. Right? Earth says in Bhagavata that in the 12th canto, I think 11th or 12th canto, Srimad Bhagavatam explains various kings who had come and who have ruled the entire earth. And then earth says that so many kings have come and gone. The earth is still here, but none of the kings are here. They have all left. So the second wife is the possessions, wealth. Third wife said that, oh, you are leaving your body? You are leaving? I will come with you till the graveyard. उतना तो मैं करूंगी, sorry. I'll come till the graveyard, then I will leave. Who is the third wife? Family relatives. Adan Pradan. I will help you, you will help me. And the fourth wife said, he asked the fourth wife, will you come with me? The fourth wife said, I will come with you. Wherever you go, I will follow like Hutch. Hutch phone tha na? Wherever you go, I will follow you. So this wife says, I will follow you everywhere. Wherever you are, whatever is your situation, I'll be there with you. I'll be there with you. Not like that irritating dog, but is like compassionate wife. Who is that fourth wife?
Krishna or the soul.
Super soul. Or you can say soul also. Super soul. Whatever is our situation, however misery, we are in misery, we are worm in a stool, or we are dog or hog, whatever we are, Krishna will be there with us as Paramatma. As Paramatma. Krishna is saying this again throughout entire Bhagavad Gita. That I will be there with you. In fact, even in that entire incident of Mahabharata, Kurukshetra war also, Krishna is there with Arjuna. Krishna is there with Arjuna. So, the only way we can reciprocate or show our gratitude towards Krishna is by chanting the holy names of the Lord. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. And understanding that Krishna is the seed-giving Father. He is the seed-giving Father. Right? So today we discussed that what are the characteristics of material nature. We're not discussing in detail, but will come in this chapter. And how is the material nature created? Today we discussed that, right? And if you see, there's only one verse explained in 14th chapter, but is expanded in Srimad Bhagavatam. It is expanded in Srimad Bhagavatam. Right? So since it's 7:56, we will end here. What we'll do is now we will chant